What's up, boys? I figured, as today just so happens to be the 6 months where I check recharge batteries, swap batteries out on my optics, on my firearms, clean and oil my most used knives, figured I would just go over this process with you. Short and simple, quickly show you how I maintain my OTFs. I've got a couple questions about that. Why would you carry an OTF? I like knives. They're pretty neat. And being able to use them one-handed from either side, very interesting. Yes, there are drawbacks, but if you maintain them properly, I've never really had any issues with my OTFs not deploying properly because I maintain them. So, quick couple notes. The main thing that I like to use, you want to use like a lightweight oil. 10 weight or higher is probably too high, so something, like a 5 knife pivot lube is not really ideal for this. I like to use either REM oil. There's nothing wrong with REM oil. You can put this on almost anything that is metal and it will protect it. But I also do like this Century Tough Glide. They've got this in a couple different types of bottles. They got little needle squeezer bottles, these big spray bottles. Depending on how many knives or what you're working with, choose your application method accordingly. So essentially, all I do is if I press forward and it fails to fully engage, I lock the blade out, I take the applicator needle, and I just drip it along the base of the knife so that it's working down, close the cap, fire the blade down, and take a couple drops and just kind of try and hold it along the sides so that it's oiling the springs. I've seen the video on, I'll link it as well. Microtech also has a video, their recommended care instructions, and they just dump a bunch of REM oil into it and then air duster it out essentially, or compressed air it out. I find that's kind of unnecessary unless you've got a really, really gross and old blade. I kind of like to shake it a bit, make sure everything's getting coated, moved around, and then I just deploy it. There's going to be oil on the blade. You could take a microfiber, you could wipe it around. You kind of want it on all surfaces. Check to see if there's any, dirt or rust. And that's pretty much it. This Tough Glide doesn't smell the greatest, but it works fantastic. It's a dry film, so once it dries down, it continues to protect your blade. I find that it doesn't seem to bind up as bad. I would also recommend a couple other quick things. Compressed air, if you have an actual air compressor, that's ideal. If you cannot afford that, you don't live somewhere where you can get an air compressor, just, canned air. They make electronic, rechargeable little keyboard dusters to get stuff out of the inside of your knives. These little knife pivot lube, basically eensy teensy little Q-tips. These are great for getting into stuff, digging stuff out, putting oil on pivots on maybe folding knives, as well as, I've already brought up a couple. The Benchmade Blue Lube's pretty good. Again, not for automatic knives, but for folders or things of that nature, this is fantastic, as well as the KPL, and I also really like the St. Clair nano oil. I have it in the 510, and I can't remember what the last weight is, but those are all fantastic oils as well. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. That's just how I maintain my autos. I like to wear gloves just so I don't get any of most of this stuff's not meant to be ingested or absorbed through your skin. Maybe I'm a thief for not wanting to get a bunch of stuff on my skin, but I do that when I clean my firearms as well. So be mindful of that, I suppose. So yeah, all right, guys, quick video. Catch you in the next one. Peace. Danger: harmful or fatal if swallowed, combustible, contains petroleum distillates. Do not use near heat, sparks, or open flame. Do not breathe vapors. Use only in adequately fresh air environment. Avoid skin and eye contact. Close container after use. Do not use on cookware. If swallowed, call Poison Control Center, physician, or emergency room immediately. Repeated and prolonged overexposure to solvents has been associated with brain and nervous system damage. Intentional misuse by digestion or inhaling contents may be harmful or fatal. Yeah, maybe I should open a window.